everybody, people coming at me, and I mean, you should see some of these tweets that I've seen on X and other places. One guy writes them, Joel Ellenwood writes, while we are at it, fuck Stephen A. Smith. 2. That's what he said. Ouch. Violence to language. Language. Come on. Somebody else writes, quote, I don't care about pedophiles. End quote. Is a hill Stephen A. Smith needs to die on alone. Don't put that out on the rest of us. I don't care about pedophiles. That's how y'all took that? Really? Really? That's what we're doing? We're not taking into account what I was really trying to say? I'm not talking about rapists and pedophiles. Of course, any of them that we can identify, we want them. We want their asses in jail, without question. What I was saying and what I was lamenting or ridiculing was the MAGA right who suddenly turned against Trump because you don't have a client list. So if the war between Ukraine and Russia gets settled, if the Israeli-Hamas conflict gets settled, if the tariffs work to our advantage and the economy is flourishing, the borders have been closed, and we see mass deportations, which millions upon millions of Americans, by the way, are against. But some of you, particularly those with the MAGA right, certainly are not against. If he's done all of these things, what I was saying is you're trying to tell me that because the Epstein client list hasn't been released or hasn't been revealed, that is a reason for you to turn against him and not be somebody who would support him? Are we really supposed to believe that?
I am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. And well, if you don't know, you've been living under a fucking rock, because this is the only thing people want to talk about. I've been avoiding the subject and topic. I don't really like discussing politics over here, but I guess when I have to, I have no choice. So we have no choice. If you don't know, the DOJ, the Department of Justice, and the FBI basically came out and said that Epstein, he killed himself, he committed suicide, and on top of that, there is no list. There is none of this, that, and the third. I guess Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell was just trafficking young women and putting them on this island for them to have sex with. Nobody else was involved. No one. That's what the FBI and the Department of Justice is saying. That's what they're saying. It was just them. It was just them two. Nobody. There's no list. Y'all can shut up. That's what they say, basically, right? And it's causing this hellstorm, this fire within the MAGA base, because Trump ran on the fact that he was going to expose that list. He wanted all the people that were on that list to get exposed. He felt like the Democrats were trying to hide it. He felt like they were trying to suppress it. And if I can be honest, they were. They were definitely suppressing it and trying not to deal with it. And I think that's what it was. I think Biden was like, look, we just going to pass this off to whoever in office next and let them, I think Biden saw what they was like, okay, we know what's going on here. Let's just get this to Trump. If he want to expose himself and Bill Clinton and the rest of these nasty ass politicians, then so be it. And world leaders and power brokers in the world, and so be it. Let him have at it. So Trump said, yeah, we'll take it, and we're gonna fucking tell y'all everything, y'all. We're gonna expose the whole list. The whole list is coming out. And for a while they were, yeah, we got it on our desk. We're about to comb through it, tell y'all everything y'all want to know. And then it was nothing there, apparently. Apparently. No one believes it. Like, no one. Outside of Trump and the Department of Justice and the FBI, I guess, or the head of the FBI or whoever said it's nothing there. Them are the only three people that believe what they said. Everybody else knows they're lying. Like, it's like, we're just like, oh, so y'all just gonna straight up just not tell the truth. Or not even not tell the truth. Y'all gonna straight up just say it's nothing there. And then they had another vote to make it public. And they still, the Republicans vetoed to not make it public. It's like, so if there's nothing wrong, why not show us? I'm like, I don't understand that. Like, if Jeffrey Epstein was a man on an island amongst himself, ironically, fucking ironically, If that's what was going on, then y'all should have no problem with showing us the evidence of that. I ain't even saying y'all gotta show us the nigga kill himself, but you could at least show the evidence of this is the thing he tied up with. Like, it's a lot you could do to show us that what you're saying is true. But in the end, just saying it and then telling us not to worry about it, it's not enough. But anyways, while us low-level Americans, we're over here scrambling, trying to figure out why our government is lying to us about this, the high-level Americans, the rich motherfuckers, they don't really give a fuck. That's why Stephen A. Smith is receiving backlash, because he was on Chris Cuomo's podcast, and he basically said he didn't care about the Epstein list anymore. This isn't a pressing matter anymore. Why do we care? I'm going to leave here and not even think about it. And everybody's on his ass. They're cooking him. I mean, both sides. That's the thing. Both sides are like, what the fuck are y'all doing? So if you come out that's just like, hey, don't worry about that shit, we're to think that you might be helping enable that bullshit. And while Stephen A. addresses it, and this is my brother. This is my Libra brother, my Libra uncle, Stephen A. Smith. So I'm going to give my Libra uncle the grace he deserves to tell us what he needs to tell us and give us his defense of what he had to say on Chris Cuomo's podcast. But I just want to let you know, he's going to play the clip of what he said as well, and I'll give a response after that. Anyways, you know what? Yeah, I'm done yapping. I'm done giving context. We're here. Let's talk about this Epstein bullshit. Let's listen.
A memo released by the Justice Department and the FBI last week said they found no evidence that disgraced financier and convicted sex offender Epstein blackmailed powerful people or kept a client list, end quote. The memo reiterated that he died by suicide in his prison cell in 2019. Trump posted a lengthy message on Truth Social over the weekend that read in part, "What's going on with my boys?" and in some cases, gals. They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's doing a fantastic job, all caps. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, that's also capitalized. The talk of the world, that's also capitalized. And selfish people are trying to hurt it, all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein, over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, James Comey, John Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax? 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more. They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton / Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me. And now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody nobody cares about, end quote, courtesy President Donald Trump on his Truth Social platform. Now, for those of you who may have missed it, Donald Trump hasn't been the only one in the eye of the storm because the Epstein files haven't been released, the client list hasn't been released, and supposedly one doesn't exist and all of this other stuff. Oh, no, he hasn't been the only one in the news where people going after him. Somehow, some way, they're going after me, too, because of an appearance that I made on Chris Cuomo's show, Cuomo, on News Nation just a few days ago. I made some comments on the Epstein saga that did not sit well with some of you. Before we get into that, listen to what I said at that time, please. Take it away. I'm just looking at if you're a Republican, if you're the GOP, I mean, the big, beautiful bill was just passed. Even though the deficit is going to escalate from $3.3 trillion over $5 trillion, assuming you believe the Congressional Budget Office and all of this other stuff. I mean, with all of these things that's going on, with the 2017 tax cuts reserved, with so much stuff that's going on that the left didn't want to happen, that you on the right said you wanted to happen, with the borders being closed, supposedly that being handled, with migrants being escorted out of this country in droves, according to you, and what you wanted, you're in an uproar off the Epstein list. That's all you've got. it's really, really surprising that this matters. Of course, I think there's a list, but I don't know. I suspect, but I have no knowledge, nor do I care. It's Friday night. I'm getting ready to go out and enjoy myself. I'm getting ready to have a nice weekend. I can give a damn about the Epstein client list. It has no effect on me whatsoever. I have a life. I don't understand for the life of me why this matters so much to these. I'm talking about people losing it. They're crying on camera. They're talking about resignations. They're pissed off about everything. I'm like, really? With all the stuff going on in this country, with all the power that you possess because of the cachet and the influence you have because of your connection to this administration, that's why you upset at Trump. I didn't blame Trump one bit for looking at them and saying, really? That really matters to you? That's really that important? Now, maybe he had a different reason for saying it, trying to be evasive or whatever. I don't know. But I do know this. In the grand scheme of things, it ain't going to affect the lives of over 200 to 300 million Americans. No. I think we'll be just fine without knowing whether or not there was really, really a client list. I think we'll be okay. It's unbelievable that this is a big deal to me. It really is.
Okay. All right. He said a lot there, and he's going to address it and give us his response in a second. But I want to react to that. I want to say something about that because I think it is crazy. It is insane. It is insane to say that no one cares about a pedophile ring that was being held and was happening late into the 90s, early 2000s, whenever it was going on, that had a whole bunch of high-powered politicians, millionaires, billionaires in it, and he had a whole client list full of them, and he was ready to talk and expose them. And he didn't get the chance to do that because apparently he killed himself. I never thought a man who was ready to snitch would go, yeah, you would think, okay, this is my way out of this. Snitching. This is my way out. Telling on all you niggas. Going straight Nino Brown on you niggas. This is my way out. Why the fuck would I take my own life? You just don't add up. But at the end of the day, they're going to make you believe one thing and another. But I guess this is, and at the end of the day, I think that's my thing too. People will argue everything. They'll argue the bill that just got passed. They'll argue this. They'll argue that. They'll say this. They'll say that. But when it comes down to it, we should be protecting the lives of innocent women and children. That is one of America's top values. So when those lives were being threatened upon and being preyed upon, and there was actual predators and sexual deviants out here who had billions of dollars in power and control over this, that, and the third, we as a people deserve the right to know who the fuck was on that list. I mean, that's just the truth. Now, you don't have to care, Stephen A., because of course it's not going to concern you because you have the money. You're a power broker. If anything, you're not on the Epstein list. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, of course to you and to probably any other rich person, y'all could give two fucks because it's like, this shouldn't affect anything. Like, who cares what happened to Epstein? But as a people, we do deserve the right to know because regardless of it, this is clear fact. He ran a fucking women and children sex trafficking ring and had a list of people on it that were apparently on his client list that they hit him up for the women and children. Unfortunately, that's just the truth. Like, that's just so to say that, oh no, these were just random people that knew Epstein that would just call him and he would send them. It wasn't no. But we see him in pictures with all of these rich ass motherfuckers and politicians, and it's just like, okay, lie again. Like, what other lie can you tell me? It's a lot of lies. They get them off. That's what the government does, They get their lies off. I'm not here to shit on the government. Please, feds. I don't want no problems. No problems. Just saying, just spades are spades. If we're playing spades, we got to call the truth what it is. and they're definitely lying.
Needless to say, everybody, people coming at me, and I mean, you should see some of these tweets that I've seen on X and other places. One guy writes them, Joel Ellenwood writes, while we are at it, fuck Stephen A. Smith. 2. That's what he said. Ouch. Violence to language. Language. Come on. Somebody else writes, quote, I don't care about pedophiles. End quote. Is a hill Stephen A. Smith needs to die on alone. Don't put that out on the rest of us. I don't care about pedophiles. That's how y'all took that? Really? Really? That's what we're doing? We're not taking into account what I was really trying to say? I'm not talking about rapists and pedophiles. Of course, any of them that we can identify, we want them. We want their asses in jail, without question. What I was saying and what I was lamenting or ridiculing was the MAGA right who suddenly turned against Trump because you don't have a client list. So if the war between Ukraine and Russia gets settled, if the Israeli-Hamas conflict gets settled, if the tariffs work to our advantage and the economy is flourishing, the borders have been closed, and we see mass deportations, which millions upon millions of Americans, by the way, are against. But some of you, particularly those with the MAGA right, certainly are not against. If he's done all of these things, what I was saying is you're trying to tell me that because the Epstein client list hasn't been released or hasn't been revealed, that is a reason for you to turn against him and not be somebody who would support him? Are we really supposed to believe that? Are we really supposed to believe that everything?
Yes, Stephen A. And look, my thing is, too, we'll take what we can get with these motherfuckers. We can't get them to turn on them for shit. Finally, something that we can all agree on. That's my thing. I'm like, look, we take what we can. We got something we can all agree on. That Epstein list should be out. And they're lying. Like, we got all something we can, finally something all we can fucking agree on. Like, yes, that matters. That fucking matters. We can't agree on shit else in this damn country. Not a damn thing else we can agree on. We can't come together on shit. If we can come together on putting some niggas away because they're some fucking predators, then we need to come together and do it. It is what it is. And that's just how the statement comes off. I don't think Stephen A. said in that rant verbatim he doesn't care about pedophiles. That would be a crazy thing to say. I don't think Stephen A. Smith said that. But in the rant he did with Chris Cuomo, that's how it comes off. It comes off as if you don't give a fuck about the list because you're about to go attend to your business. Like, who cares? It doesn't hurt what I got going on. So why should the MAGA base care? That's what you're saying, and it just comes off as tone deaf. That's how it sounds. It sounds like you're just, instead of really addressing the issue. Right, get to it.
That has to do with you lending your support to Donald Trump as a member of the MAGA right had something to do or everything to do with the Epstein client list? Really? That's what I was saying. I in no way mean to give the indication that it's okay for a rapist to be running loose, that a pedophile should be running loose. I'm the dude that believes their asses should be under the jail. That's how despicable I think those human beings are. And any one of them you can get, go get them. But it was 2 points that I was making, which that wasn't one of them. One was what I just said. Are you really going to act like you didn't want or you would not have supported Donald Trump if it wasn't for the Epstein list? That all those other issues that I brought up would have fallen to the wayside and you would have went and voted for Kamala Harris? Is that what you're trying to tell people? That's one point that I was trying to make. That's one point. Here's another. That you're really taken aback and upset and, oh my Lord, off the rails because you believe you've been deceived. I don't know a politician that has ever made us feel otherwise. Now, there's levels to it. Some have made you feel more deceived than others. But the reality is that we expect our politicians to say stuff on the campaign and do stuff differently once they win.
And that's the problem. That's the problem with politics, Stephen A. That's the problem. And that's not okay. We shouldn't expect, that shouldn't be a thing we're just okay with in this fucking world. Yeah, the people in power, the people that make the laws, the people that come up with all this shit that basically have everything to do with your life will lie to you just to be put in that position. That's not okay. In no world should that be considered okay. We don't want nobody like that. At least we shouldn't. We want somebody who's going to tell us the truth, or if not, tell us the God honest truth. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to make happen. This is what I want to do for our people, right? This is what I want. This is how I can try and make it happen, but I'm not going to lie to you. If we don't get more other people in positions and powers, it's going to be hard to push these things that I'm trying to push. So if y'all do the due diligence, put me in and then putting these other people in, we can get a lot done. Be honest. Too many people lie. Too many people try to fucking play into the base. Oh, most Republicans and conservatives are racist. Let's just do racist shit, but not really, like, you know, stand on it like we did in the 50s and 60s, in the 30s and 40s. But, you know, kind of be a little, you know, play the edge of the line with it, you know. They won't figure it out. You know, some people smart enough to know. Others are just dumb enough to let it happen. And if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. And I refuse to be the nigga that fall for something. So, regardless of it, I know these politicians. All of them are liars. But at the same time, that doesn't make it right. And look, men lie and women lie. Numbers lie too. And what happens when you get caught? You get fucking humiliated for it. You get chastised for it. You get crucified for it because you shouldn't be lying. What are you lying for? All Trump had to say was, look, that Epstein shit probably not going to go too far. So y'all keep asking me about this. Stop worrying about it. I don't know what's going on with that. We're going to see what Biden and Harris does. It gets put on my desk. We'll see what happens from there. And in that way, when this stuff happened, at least it'll be a fucking trail of him at least saying that he was never really going to put it out. But unfortunately, he was out here promising these people, telling these people, hey, the Epstein list is coming soon. Be ready. Be ready to see some. You might see Biden on there. Be ready to see some names on there. Biden hiding it for a reason. He don't want his friends and his other fellow politicians to get exposed. I ain't hiding shit from y'all. I'm gonna show y'all everything y'all want to see. That's what the fuck Trump was saying. Now all of a sudden, nothing's there. Why are we talking about this? Why does it matter? And then here comes Stephen A. Smith. I don't care. I'm about to go enjoy my Friday night. I'm about to fuck on some hoes. That's what I'm concerned about. I ain't concerned about no fucking Epstein list. That ain't my concern. I just seen this baddie on OnlyFans. I'm trying to get her to pull up.
You tell me an administration when that hasn't happened. You tell me an administration where you can look at promises made and promises kept all the damn time. It doesn't happen. I don't know whether President Trump was on the list or not. I can't wait to talk to Alan Dershowitz one day, the famed attorney who supposedly was on a list until he was completely exonerated. He let the world know he was never a part of it, and he never should have been implicated the way that he was. But even he was on the record saying, there really isn't a client list. You don't believe me? Listen up. Here he is.
There is no client list. There never has been a client list. A client list suggests that Jeffrey Epstein made a list of people to whom he trafficked women. What there is a redacted FBI affidavit from accusers. There are several of them. From accusers that accuse that accuse various people of having improper sex. None of them are public figures who are currently in office. Some of them were previously in office. Some of them are dead. but there is no client list. Pam Bondi and the Justice Department and Donald Trump are not responsible for that. I don't know of any information that they could disclose that they haven't disclosed. Now, maybe there is some, but I'm simply not aware of it. And so I think it's important to place the blame where the blame deserves to be placed.
So there you heard him. Are we going to really sit back here and act like we're surprised that we're in shock and awe and, oh, my Lord, the world must come to an end because we thought and we have been deceived? Really? With a politician?
Yes. We have been lied to by the politicians and the government, and probably by Epstein's former lawyer, because why would he even admit to it being a client list? And then now he looks weird. So, of course, he's going to be like, oh, no, it wasn't no client. It was just accusers saying these are the people that Epstein had sent me to, blah, 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 blah. And my thing is, all right, that's cool. What's the problem with putting that out? Like, okay, these are the accusers. These are who they accusing. Like, just tell the truth. Why seal it? Why hide it away? Why do all this extra shit? You know? Y'all let everybody know about everything else y'all want them to know about. Here, we'll tell you what we want to tell you, not what you should know. That's America. Welcome to America. Yeah, we tell you what we want to tell you, not what you probably need to know. No, we're not going to tell you that. We're going to keep that away from. We're going to gatekeep that. We're going to gatekeep that. That's how this goes. Anyway, I am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV, where if I had the Epstein list, it'd been on the screen right now. Peace.